a better disc brake idea for 55 through 57 Chevys. The old standard was to run like 72 Monte Carlo disc brake rotors, but they spaced the wheels out 7/8 of an inch on each side, which makes them steer awkward in my opinion. And as you can see, it's so far away from the caliper. I mean, there's no reason for it to be that far away. It's a good full 2 inches away from this type of mag wheel, which is cut to fit disc brakes. But anyway, there's really no need for that rotor to be that far out for the wheel mounting surface. This is the 72 Monte Carlo style GM brake rotor, and you can see it puts that wheel way out on the edge of the spindle. So I've got reproduction roller bearing spindles, and I've got this floater style brake rotor that comes off of the rear of a 79 Trans Am, Pontiac Trans Am disc brakes. As you can see, it doesn't have nowhere near as much of the spacing out. Now, you know, I have been actually working with this idea for a long time, and the problem that I was having, this is an actual hub off of a 65 Chevrolet Impala that gives you the roller bearings, but they are too large of a diameter to fit down into that rotor. Only by a few thousandths. I could probably take and have it turned down, but I went to the Bowling Green, Kentucky Tri-5s, and I bought these reproduction roller bearing hubs, and they fit down inside the 79 Trans Am brake rotor, rear brake rotor. And as you can see, that will not, I think they call this a zero offset. So I'll be able to put the wheels in the same position that they were originally. Let me get after this and see if this will work. So the key is 79 Trans Am brake rotors, rear brake rotors. I'm using my original 57 Chevy spindle with a Dan Chuck caliper mount bolted to it, and that's just like a standard caliper, 78 Monte Carlo, 72 Monte Carlo. But let's see if this will work on that. Look at the disc brake pads on a driver car. They're worn pretty thin. I need to replace those. So these are the same diameter. The 79 Trans Am might be 1/8 of an inch bigger around. That's the Dan Chuck mount. I like floating brake rotors. You don't have to take apart the whole hub assembly to remove them. By golly, it looks like it's going to work. The 79 Pontiac Trans Am rotor, rear rotor, has about the same spacing away from that top bolt. Now then, I don't have my rotor on there tight, but let me put the wheel on and see how that does. And I'm going to put new brake pads on it, but just to see how it all lines up. That's a fit. That's a win. This solves a big mystery for me. For years, what would work and not space the wheels out. And there's plenty of room for that caliper to clear wheels, as you can see. Now let's just put the wheels on and see what happens. I don't know if you can tell, but that did put the wheel back where it needs to be, up in that wheel well. And it clears the this type of rim, at least. My wheel balancing weights were a little bit too close to the center, and it took some of those off, the ones that glue on the inside. But that works good. I imagine this car is going to steer a lot better and everything, having the wheels where they need to be. Like I said, this wheel is 7/8 of an inch further outward. And to have it that way on both sides, you could tell the difference in driving the car. I drive this car all over the United States, as some of you know. And the way some people drive on the freeways, it's good to have a car that steers properly instead of kind of funny because both wheels are out too far, I think. So the secret to better, cheap disc brake conversions is to run the roller bearing hubs that you can buy reproduction, or turn down the 65 Impala ones a little bit. 62 to 69 Impalas, 70 Impalas will work. You can turn them down a little bit, and that way they don't cost as much as the reproductions. But then you can run 79 Pontiac Trans Am rear disc brake rotors over the roller bearing hubs. And those disc brake rotors I got for about $40 each online. So even the rotors themselves are cheaper than these 72 Monte Carlo, Chevelle, Malibu, Grand Prix rotors. Those are pretty expensive. And of course nowadays you want to buy that stuff new. You can't go to the wrecking yards and find it, and even if you did, it probably wouldn't be any good. So the mystery solved. That's your better disc brake conversion without buying new spindles. And it puts the wheels where they were supposed to be. That looks a lot better. Thanks for watching.